Thank you. Brilliant. So, let me just get my booklet. So welcome to the class, everyone, my second class, and thank you so much for joining us. Today's class is very much about the feet and the legs. Actually, one of my favorite classes. And it's all about finding our foundations, hopefully enabling us to feel a bit more grounded, exploring the strength of our legs, our mobility, balance, and our ease of movement. And hopefully, by the end of the class, you might leave feeling a little bit more rooted, a little bit more grounded, and calmly supported. We have got some strong forms in the class, but we also have quite a lot of mountain form, which is Tadasana. A mountain form is a lovely form because it's all about stability, strength, and grounding. So we're going to be exploring that form quite a bit throughout the class in between moves. So just to say that if anyone does have any physical issues or any issues at all that you think might interrupt the class or affect your experience, feel free to let me know in the chat. And I did pop in the email, it would be great if you have any blocks, a couple of yoga blocks, pillows. If you have a strap or a belt, that would be really helpful. And if you have a bolster, that's great as well. Wait for everyone to come back. Okay. So we're going to start a little bit differently for this class, and we're just going to start with a very simple meditation practice that I've been finding really beneficial recently. So we're going to start sitting down and cross-legged, and feel free to sit on a foam pad, a pillow, perhaps at the edge, just on the edge of a pillow can be really helpful, just so that you can sit comfortably for a few minutes and just sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to spend a few minutes just doing a short breathing practice. So what I'd like you to do is just connect with the ground, just allow yourself to settle, to extend the spine up towards the sky without forcing, just lengthening, perhaps tucking the chin, perhaps closing the eyes, just allowing yourself to just pause as we come to the end of the week, Friday evening, beginning of the weekend. And here we're just going to tune into our breath for a few minutes. And what I'd like you to do is just think about where you feel your breath the most. So that might be your belly, might be your chest, perhaps the end of your nose. And just allow your concentration to just rest on that point. And as you do that, we're going to just be developing a point of focus. So as we breathe in, we're going to be counting 1. And as we breathe out, we're going to be counting 1. As we breathe in, we're going to count 2. And as we breathe out, we're going to count 2. And we're going to do this until we get to count 5 and then return back to 1. So just notice the breath as it comes in, the pause, and as you exhale and it leaves your body. You might find that you lose count, and that's a sign that your mind has got involved and you started thinking again. So just continuing that gentle focus on the breath, wherever your point of focus is. Just continuing the count as perhaps your mind just starts to settle. and you just come into this space. And it doesn't matter if you lose count and if your mind begins thinking, just bring yourself back to number 1 and work back up to number 5 again. There can be a tendency for the head to drift up during this kind of practice. So just, if that's happening, just tuck your chin back in slightly, just to maintain the length of your spine. Okay, and when you reach number 5 next, just slowly open your eyes and just come back to the room. Okay, so we're going to start this feet and leg practice with a massage of our feet. So in a cross-legged position, just bring one foot up onto the other knee or wherever's comfortable. And if you find this position a little bit difficult, you could put a block or a cushion underneath your knees. But feel free to just make yourself comfortable. And we're just going to start by really using your intuition to really massage your feet. Perhaps starting with the balls of the feet, moving into the inner arches, the inner arch, the outer arch, the heel, just maybe the toes, just giving your feet a really nice rub wherever feels good. And just when you're ready, just bring the other foot up and do the same with your other foot. Our feet work really hard for us and they often don't get this kind of attention. So really make the most of getting into the grooves and really feeling what feels good to you. For me, my arches really respond well to massage, and my heels as well. Okay, when you've given your feet a nice rub, we're just going to come to the toes and we're going to look at extending our toes. So in today's world, we wear shoes and often tight shoes and even socks. And actually our feet are a lot more constrained than they naturally might want to be. So we're going to really work with the feet before we move into any standing forms to really spread the feet out and create space between the bones. So I'd like you just to take your left foot and your right hand and place your fingers in between your toes. So if you haven't done this before, you might have to work quite hard to really get your fingers deep in between those toes. And don't forget about the little toe as well. And when you've comfortably got your fingers there, just play around with your toes, so perhaps bending your toes back, perhaps bringing them forwards, perhaps even side to side movement if that feels good for you. But really just Some circles might be good. Really working on spreading those toes out and creating space and a feeling of expansion across your toe joints where they meet the foot. Really spreading those out. And when you're ready, you can let that foot go and come to the other foot. Your right foot may feel different to your left foot. I know my toes are a lot more difficult to get in between on my right foot, and that's perfectly normal. So just, again, really working to open those toes, move them away from each other, and just give them the space that they naturally would want to move into. So just pushing the toe joints of the toes up, flexing them down, perhaps side to side, and some circular movements as well. Okay. And from here, we're just going to come back to massaging the feet a little bit more. So take the left foot again, and we're really going to work on spreading the feet, just like we have with the toes, spreading the bones of the feet out and away from each other. So almost pushing the edges of the feet kind of out and upwards. So you're really, really flexing those feet along the side. So working from the ball of the foot, each side of the ball of the foot, really spreading and pulling those joints and bones away from each other and working along the foot right to the heel. And just really enjoying the expansion that creates. And we're going to explore the effects of this shortly when we stand up. Really making the most of just pulling the joints, the bones, just really spreading them apart. I'm just going to work on the other foot as well when you're ready. Again, starting from the ball of the foot, one hand on either side, and just pulling the sides of the feet out and towards each other, so sort of upwards towards the top of the foot. Just working down the feet until you get to the sole, coming back up the foot, and allowing the bones of the foot to kind of move away from each other, just expand. Okay, and from here, we're going to just come onto our knees. If that's not comfortable for you, feel free to put a blanket under your knees. Sometimes knees can be quite sensitive. We're not going to be here for long, but just do make yourself comfortable, because this practice is very much about comfort, ease, flow, and obviously grounding. So tuck your toes and just explore sort of moving forwards, your weight forwards in your torso and back, and how that feels on the toes. And how far back this can be quite difficult, can you sit back on those toes, even if just for a moment? And our toes aren't used to flexing this much, so you may just get to here, that might be enough for you. You may be able to spend a few moments here, really flexing those toes. You may want to just slowly come in and out of this form. It can be really, really tough. Lovely, everyone. So when you're ready, I know that's quite tough on the toe joints. Come down onto all fours, and we're going to explore coming up into downward dog. So this will be our first kind of form towards standing. We're not going to push up into downward dog from our hands or our arms. We're actually going to very much use our feet, our flexed feet, and the strength of our legs to move up into downward dog. So we did a little bit of this in the last class. So when you've got a comfortable neutral position with your hands under your shoulders and your your knees under your hips, toes tucked, and just extend those heels back towards the wall behind you as you just lift the hips slightly towards the sky. So your knees just come off the mat an inch or so, and bring those knees back down to the mat again. I just invite you to do that a few times. Again, it's quite tough, but really think about bringing those heels back towards the mat, so grounding the toes into the floor, bringing the heels back down towards the mat as your knees sort of naturally lift from the mat. And just getting used to that sensation. And when you're ready and you're pushing your heels down towards the mat, you might want to just lift your hips up a bit further, keeping your focus in your heels as you move them back down to the mat and arrive in your downward dog form. So brilliant, everyone. So I'll just demonstrate downward dog and then just come and have a look at everybody. But in downward dog, we don't need to have straight legs, so you can keep your legs bent as you need to. But we are trying to create a straight line between the hands, the shoulders, and the hips. So tucking the ribs in, tucking the core in, and pushing the chest towards the thighs as you look back towards your thighs can really help with this move. Brilliant. That looks really good. And yeah, feel free to come out of this form at any point. It can be a strong form when you're not used to it, and feel free to sort of pulse in and out of it as you explore the form. And when you are up in downward dog, can you bring your attention to your feet, to how your toes feel on the floor, if your heels are reaching the floor, how they feel on the floor, but really how your toes and the soles of your feet are grounding into the mat beneath you. How your legs are strong but relaxed as they're supporting your torso, so the top of your body to really lengthen and open out. And from here, we're just going to walk our legs up to our hands and slowly uncurl the body. We're going to meet standing on the mat. So this is our first mountain form, Tadasana, and this is an excellent form. So as we move into this form, I'd like you to first of all just really notice your feet, maybe look down at your feet. And can you spread your toes? This is again can be quite challenging, but lifting your toes up and really spreading them so your big toe moves left and grounds into the floor. Your little toe, if you can, extends right and grounds into the floor. And you might want to really lift your toes up a few times and just really see if you can extend them as you allow them to meet your mat. And when you feel you're comfortable with your toes, can you lift your heel and just keeping your toes in the same place, really extend that heel back. So you're lifting your heel and bending your knee, and you're extending that heel towards the back of your mat. So you're almost lengthening your foot. And do that a few times with each of your feet. Really pushing that foot back. So you're really expanding the connection that your foot has with the mat. This is a really effective way of really helping with balance and strength and mobility. And when you're ready, to allow your feet to just settle into the floor. Allow your strength and weight to come from your feet, engaging especially the outside of the feet so you're not falling into the mat. Allow that strength to move up into your ankles, into your knees, into your hips, as your bones are stacked and your muscles soft but strong. Lengthening the spine. You might want to tuck your tailbone very slightly, lengthening the spine, lengthening the neck, tucking the chin, and turning the hands outwards towards the front of the room. So your shoulders just naturally fall back into the sockets and your chest opens. We're just going to spend a few moments here. You might want to close your eyes. Just really appreciating the strength of such a simple form. And it's called mountain for a reason. Strong, stable, balanced. Our bodies are working. They're soft, they're strong, but they're also soft. Just notice your breath. As you just take a few moments to really tune into your feet on the floor, your legs, and perhaps really send some gratitude to these body parts for everything that they do for you. Okay, so from here we're going to come into our next standing form, and we're going to come back to Tadasana, to mountain form, quite a bit throughout the practice. We're going to come into warrior one form. So if you just turn so you're facing the length of your mat, and just step your front foot or one foot forward, perhaps your left foot, as you leave your right foot back on the mat. Now, before we do anything from here, I'd like you just to think about the distance between your feet. So it can be, lots of people think that warrior one, we're in a straight line with our feet, but actually your feet should be a hip distance apart. So crossways, so horizontally. So there should be a space between one left foot and right foot in terms of your hips. And in terms of length, it's whatever's comfortable for you. So I would just explore length, but again, you don't have to go too long in this form. You can come out of this form whenever you like, but if you're ready to explore further, just bend your front knee, extend the spine up, tuck the chin, perhaps lift the hands up to the ceiling. And if you want to explore a bit further, look upwards and really extend up from the middle of the back, the up of the back, the top of the back, as you just open that chest. And taking a moment here, can you just really feel the feet on the floor, the foundations, how they're supporting all of this movement? Can you balance the weight from your front foot to your back foot? As you bend, can you come down into that front leg a little bit more, bending a little bit more, or keeping the feet rooted into the floor as the really foundation for everything else above. When you're ready, just come out of this form. And we're just going to do the other side. So again, just right foot forward this time. Make sure you've got a comfortable amount of space, long ways and also crossways. And when you're ready, bend your right knee. Keep your left leg as straight as you can, but if you want to bend it, feel free as well. Extend the spine, tuck the core slightly, arms up, and just extend up and out, upwards and back with the upper chest. A really nice chest opener. And when you're here, again, think about grounding into those feet as they connect with the mat, toes spread, weights equally balanced across the feet as well as between the feet. And how, when you are balanced, the power that comes up through the legs and up through the rest of the body. There can be a tendency to drop the front knee inwards, so make sure that front knee is pushed out and sitting directly above your front foot. Brilliant, everyone. And extending up and back. And when you're ready, we're just going to come back and just come back into Tadasana again. So just to ground ourselves. And again, thinking about the feet, how precious our feet are. Spreading the toes, perhaps lifting up the heel and pushing that heel back You're really creating space between the bones and the joints in your feet, allowing the weight to fall to the outside of the feet slightly. It really engages the outside of the muscles on the outside of your legs, as your knees stack over your ankles, your pelvis, your hips, the strength that comes from those feet as they connect with the floor. And just notice your breath as you extend your back, your spine towards the ceiling, tucking the chin, and just turning your palms towards the front of the room so that it just opens up the chest and allows your shoulders to sit really nicely back into the shoulder blades. I'm just going to spend a few moments here just really appreciating this form, strength, this foundational form. It's so simple, but it can also be so powerful. And sending some gratitude to your feet, to your legs, for everything they do. Noticing any sensations. Now I've got some fuzziness in my feet, heat in my legs. And you tune into what's going on in your body. Okay, we're now going to move into a warrior 2 form. So, and again, very much a similar setup. So step forwards on your mat to a comfortable point. I like my strength, my length is probably quite average. You might want to go a bit shorter, a bit longer, whatever's comfortable for you. Turn the back foot out slightly. Before we move into the form, really think about that weight in your feet again. So the back foot should be nicely grounded onto the floor with most of the weight on the outside of that foot, which will really help that back leg to be strong as it stays straight in this form. The front foot, again, grounded into the mat. Can you lift up the toes? Perhaps spread them. And again, really connect that outside of the foot with the mat. So this, a lot of the strength of this form comes up the outside of the leg. And then we're just going to slowly bend that front knee, sitting above the front foot. Extend one arm in front, one arm behind. As you extend the spine upwards, look in front of you and just turn your palms up to the sky. Again, be mindful of that front knee not dropping too far in. So keeping that front knee pushed out towards the outside of that front foot will really help with stability here. As you just allow the foundations of your feet, your legs to really take the weight of this as you extend up and out of your spine, and try and maintain a lightness in that spine, that upper body. And from here, we're just going to do a backwards, just reverse warrior. So left hand up into the air. Again, we never bend until we've extended. So extending that spine and just bringing the back hand down behind that back leg as you just bend back towards the floor. You can come out of this at any point and come back to Tadasana whenever you feel ready. If you're happy here for a minute, just again, tune into the feet, the strength, the contact with the floor, the stability that they're really providing you here, and seeing if you can really notice and be mindful of keeping your weight balanced in each of your feet and between your feet as well. And when you're ready, just come back up to warrior 2. And pause here. And then bring the feet back together. as we explore this on the other side. And these are quite strong forms, so do feel free to come back to Tadasana at any point, so come back to the standing form. So other side, so right foot forward. Before we move into the form, we're going to just turn the left foot outwards and just make sure that you've got good hip distance worth of room between the left and the right foot, and that you're comfortable with the length between your feet as well. And then bend that front knee, extend the arms out. So one arm forward, one back. Rest your gaze, perhaps on that middle finger of your front arm, and turn those palms up towards the ceiling to open the chest. And from here, just tune into the feet, the connection of your feet on the floor. Are you balanced in terms of weight? Focus the weight of your back leg into the outside edge of your foot. Be mindful that your right knee might fall in, so keeping that right knee pushed out towards the outside of the foot. Really allowing the strength and stability of this form to come from the lower body as you allow the upper body to be light. Lift up and out of your pelvis. Tuck the chin slightly. See if you can extend the spine in a gentle way. Just before we move into reverse warrior, right arm up to the sky, left arm down onto the back leg as you just gently curve, bend towards the floor on the other side. And again, if you've got the strength and you want to pause here for a minute, really notice the weight in the feet, the legs, and allow the upper body to really soften as you just let go of any unnecessary tension in the shoulders, in the upper body. When you're ready, come back out, pause when you're in warrior two, and just come back up in your own time to standing. And we're just going to meet in Tadasana again. So probably building some familiarity with mountain form now. Just really grounding the feet into the floor. Lifting up the heels if that feels good, and extending those heels backwards. Really thinking about rooting into the floor, the here and now. Allowing your bones to stack so you're balanced. Allowing your legs to be strong but soft. And allowing your upper body to be light and long as you tuck your chin. Turn your palms to the front of the room. Perhaps open that chest out and up towards the ceiling a little bit more. And just breathe. Really noticing the breath. Noticing any sensations in the feet, the legs. Can you send your breath into your feet and your legs? Okay. So we're now going to do just a couple more standing forms before we come down to the mat. So we're going to do side angle form. So if you face the short side of your mat again, and step one of your feet forward, perhaps your left foot forward, turn the right foot out, and we're going to come into the lower part of a warrior two form. So this kind of shape, but rather than bringing the arms up, we're going to actually bend our upper body down towards our front leg. You can rest your left elbow on the knee if that's helpful. So I'll just demonstrate. I'm really reaching up and out. So we're not trying to go down like this. We're actually trying to really extend the right side of the body. So And again here, exploring the feet. Are they grounded? Are they gripping the floor? And if so, can you release any tension in those feet? Are you balanced? Would any movement help with that balance a little bit more? Are they spread nicely on the mat? Now you're allowing the strength and stability to come from your lower body and allowing the top of the body to soften and release any tension. From here, when you're ready, we're going to just come back up and straighten that front leg. And we're going to move into triangle form. So before you move into the form, I'll just demonstrate. So before I do anything, I'm thinking about my feet on the floor, my legs. My front leg can be straight or slightly bent, it doesn't matter. The back leg, the weight is in the outer side of the foot to keep that stability. And from here, I'm lengthening my spine, tucking my chin, and folding forwards as I place my left arm down towards the floor and bring my right arm towards the ceiling as I twist my upper body. You might want a block here in front of your hand. Feel free to be here, to go lower. But the aim here is a fold and a twist. So this is quite a strong form. And again, can you really take that stability and strength from the lower body? And of course, the upper body has to work, but can you soften and release any tension that might have crept into the shoulders, the neck? And just notice your breath. Notice your weight in your feet. Brilliant, everyone. And when you're ready, just come out of that form. It's strong. This is a strong form, so well done, everyone. Take a moment, and we're just going to do the same on the other side. So step forward with your right foot. Bring your left foot out slightly. If you're going to use a block, pop that block in front of you. It can help with that lower hand. Again, grounding into the feet. There's no rush. Just moving bending your front leg. And just, I like to rest my arm here, but I'm not using my leg for support. I'm just resting. Just bring that upper arm over towards the floor on that side. Brilliant, everyone. Just can you release the shoulders? Notice the weight. Is it equal in your back foot and your front foot? And if not, do you want to make it equal? Perhaps not. When you're ready, just come back up. Straighten that front leg. Or keep it bent. It's up to you. And we're just going to extend towards the wall on our right hand side as we just move that hand towards the floor and lift the left hand towards the ceiling, the left arm, and just twist up towards the ceiling. And again, yoga is about finding flow and ease. So if you are holding tension in this form, can you release that tension? Can you soften? And if not, perhaps you need to come out of the form a little bit and do a gentler version of the form. Because it's not about the perfect posture. It's about finding ease and flow in your body and your mind. So you can probably feel that pull along the left side of the body here. And when you're ready, let's come back to Tadasana. So we'll meet on the mat. And this is our final Tadasana today. So just maybe lift the toes and spread them. Maybe lift up the heels again and stretch them back on the mat. Perhaps just ground that weight into the outer edges of the feet, so the outer edges of your legs really engage. Just notice strength that starts from your feet, rooted into the floor, really moves up into your hips, your pelvis, spine, and the rest of your body, creating a kind of groundedness, but also a lightness. Lift away from the floor. Palms facing forward, just opens up the chest. Chin tucked, extending the back of the neck towards the sky. Just really appreciate this pause as you just allow your breath to move. Allow your exhale to really soften. Soften your body, release your muscles. You might want to close your eyes. Okay, we're going to have a little experiment with the balance form here. So the rooting of one foot into the floor. So we're going to explore tree, and I'll demonstrate it before we start. And again, there's absolutely no pressure for anybody to do a form they're not comfortable with. Feel free to stay in Tadasana, or feel free to explore and follow along. So feet hip width distance apart. I'm just going to move my weight into one foot, so I'm choosing my left foot. I'm going to bring my right knee up, so we're lifting my right foot off the floor. I'm going to place my right foot against my thigh. Now, there's lots of options here. So your foot might come here on your ankle. Your toe might actually want to still rest on the floor as your foot just meets your ankle. You might feel comfortable here. You might feel comfortable higher. You might feel comfortable even higher. So a tip here is to find a focus point on the floor and maintain your gaze on that focus point. I'm not very good at balance forms actually. So maintain your gaze on that focus point as you just really root that foot that's on the mat into the floor. I find it really helpful to tilt my pelvis forwards, engage my core. Perhaps put your hands in a prayer form in front of you. I find that really helpful. Just think about that foot really grounding into the floor as it supports you in that balance. And when you're ready, you can bring your knee back up again, just back down to the floor. Quite a strong form for one leg. And it's really likely that both sides are going to feel very different. So again, when you're ready, we're going to move into the other side. Before you start, really think about how your feet are grounded into the floor. And the more contact that right foot can have with the floor, the easier it will be to balance. So when you're ready, just move your weight into your right foot or the opposite foot. Lift the other knee up. Pause as you just bring your foot to the inside of that standing leg, whichever position feels comfortable for you. Bring your hands into a prayer in front of your heart. Straighten the standing leg. And just gaze ahead of you on a single point of balance. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. Brilliant, everyone. When you're ready, bring that leg away, or the foot away from the leg and back down to the floor. And just take a breath. Well done, everyone. That's mainly the standing forms done. So we're going to move down to the floor now as we kind of just unwind. So we're going to just explore a yogi squat. Now, a yogi squat is again quite a strong form. I find it easiest to move my legs to sort of mat width apart. And I find it easiest to turn my toes out and my legs, they're about mat width apart. And then basically I put my hands by my chest and just move down, bend down towards that mat. Now here, your heels may come off the floor, that really doesn't matter, or you may be able to keep your heels on the floor. And elbows inside the knees can be really helpful to just push those knees out a little bit. And just seeing if you can really tune into the feeling of your feet on the floor, the rootingness, the groundedness, and allow the upper body to just soften. Can you lengthen the spine? Can you tuck the chin? Whether you're on your tiptoes, your toes, or your heels, it really doesn't matter. Just really tune into the support that the floor's giving you. And when you're ready, you can just sit back and come down to the floor. Okay. So we're just going to do a few straight leg forms to just really explore our legs a bit more now. So we've explored our feet really nicely. So we're just going to explore our legs. So if we just sit with our legs apart and straight in front of us, just diagonally apart, you might find sitting on a cushion here really helpful. I know that I do. It can really help with lower back issues, but also it can really help to keep that spine long, which is a really important part of our yoga practice. So when you're sitting comfortably, just going to bend one knee and bring that foot up against the inner thigh of the straight leg. And I'll demonstrate the form before I do it. So this is a really nice bend for the body, and also really great for exploring the muscles of the legs. So just going to turn our body to face our bent leg. It's a slight twist. And we're going to, with our spine extended, start to just bend down towards the floor of our straight leg. So we're almost, our sort of left ear will be above our knee potentially. Flexing the feet, so toes up towards the ceiling. And if you can, bring your right arm up and over, down towards that foot. So you can see my elbows rested inside that leg on the floor. Your hand might be on your thigh, your elbow might be on your thigh. Find what works for you. And what we're exploring here is the lengthening of that right hand side, and also the sort of strength and lengthening of that straight leg. So as you flex that toe up toward that foot up towards the ceiling, you should really feel that pull and that expansion of the back of that leg. And don't forget to breathe. And again, if you can't breathe, you've gone too far into the form, so come out of it a little bit. And when you're ready, come back to center. And we're going to do very much the same on the other side. So just swap legs. Right foot flexed, turning your body towards your bent leg a little bit. Starting to just bend down, lean down towards that straight leg. Resting your right arm wherever feels comfortable. For me, I like to be inside the leg on the floor. You might want to rest your hand or arm on the leg itself, on the thigh, on the shin. And just lifting that upper arm into the air as you just bring it up and over towards the foot. If you can, touch the foot, feel free. But there's absolutely no need to do this. The main aim, as I've said, is ease, flow, exploration of the body, how these movements affect the physical body, which in turn affects the nervous system and the way we feel. And again, can you really notice here the lengthening of the back of the leg, lengthening of the side of the body, noticing your breath. I'm just inviting you to come out at any time when you're ready. And before we come to lying down, we're going to just do a similar exercise, but with our legs out in front of us. So both legs straight, feet flexed. And can you really tune into here, your thighs and your upper legs sort of anchoring and centering into those hip joints? They're really kind of gathering in, but also tune into the sensation of, as your feet are flexed, your legs really extending outwards, really creating that length and space in the legs. And from here, we're going to just allow the spine to be soft but extended, tucking the chin, perhaps closing the eyes, just starting to fold forward from the hip joints. You might get an inch forward, you might get 2 inches, you might get 3. And when you're ready and you feel you've folded enough, you can just allow your back to really round as you come down onto your legs. Perhaps your head meets your knee or falls towards your knee. You just have a moment of real inward focus, keeping your legs flexed, noticing any sensations in your feet, the lengthening of your legs, really the softening of your spine. So you just notice your breath. Perhaps notice your breath as it fills the back of your ribs, your diaphragm, really expands your back. And when you're ready, we're going to come down onto our backs. We're just going to take a moment here to keep your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor. Extend the head to lengthen the neck, extending the head towards the wall behind you, allowing the spine to really ground into the floor, and also allowing the weight of your shins to really sink into the feet, into the ankles, into the feet, as they also ground onto the floor. And for this form, you're going to need a yoga strap or a belt. And I'll demonstrate the form before you start to explore it. But gonna knees bent, feet flat on the floor, one leg straight out onto the floor, and the other leg, I'd like you just to wrap your strap around the widest part of your foot, so likely the ball of your foot, and just allow that leg perhaps to straighten, or perhaps you get here, perhaps you can straighten the leg. Now the aim is not to be up here, so your shoulders are lifted from the floor. The aim here is really to keep the shoulders nice and grounded on the floor and allow the arms to just ground back with those shoulders. So you're allowing the weight of your arms and your shoulders rather than pulling. So your strap will probably be quite long. Now we're also not trying to pull our leg back towards us in any shape or form. We're allowing the leg to be soft but strong. And we're really allowing the weight of our hands to just root that leg back into the hip joints. So really anchoring that leg back into the joints. And really connecting in with the lengthening of the back of the leg, the anchoring of that leg, of that thigh into your hip joint. And from there, the connection of your sacrum with the floor. So my leg is very more comfortable slightly further forwards, so not directly above me, but here, because my sacrum is softer and more connected with the ground beneath me. Less compression in my spine, more ease, more flow, more support. And if you want to explore this a little bit further, you can take your strap into one hand, so into your left hand, and you can allow your leg to just come out to the side of you. There's no pressure to get down to the ground. You might find a bolster or a cushion underneath that stretched leg is helpful. But one thing to be mindful of is just allowing your shoulders and the right side of your body to maintain that connection with the ground. So it often likes to lift. So can you just bring the weight back into the right side while allowing that left leg to soften in a comfortable spot, and allowing the strap to really root that left thigh back into the joint. Exploring the lengthening of the back of that leg. Perhaps you can notice sensations in your feet. And when you're ready, bring that up, back up to center. Perhaps pausing here. And you notice the softness in your spine, softness in your sacrum. And just removing the strap. You might want to just bring your knees into your chest and just massage your lower back onto the floor, which can feel really nice before we explore the same move or posture, but on the other side. So this side will probably feel really different. If you feel like you need a cushion or a bolster at this point underneath either legs, grab one. So your left leg straight out in front of you or straight out on the floor, and you're bringing your right leg up into the air. Shoulders grounded on the floor. Really soften those shoulders if they're holding any tension. Your leg might be bent. Your leg might be straight. There is no right and there is no wrong. Our bodies are different. And this practice is about groundedness, flow, ease, and letting go. So here, thinking about the weight of your arms as it pulls on the strap, and just anchors your leg back into your hip bone. Really connects your sacrum with the floor. Perhaps exploring the sensations in the back of the leg, the lengthening. Maybe sending gratitude to your leg for everything it does for you. And when you're ready, if you want to explore further, putting your straps or your belt into your right hand and allowing that right leg to just fall down towards the floor. There's no pushing, there's no pulling. It's allowing the straps not to push or pull, but to just bring that leg gently back into its hip socket again, so it's nicely anchored into the body. Keeping the left side of your body nicely connected to the floor. And just breathing, noticing your natural breath. Can you release any tension? It's not needed, especially in the shoulders, the lower back, even the legs. When you're ready, just bring that leg back in. And you might want to just, again, bring your knees into your chest and just wriggle, rock from side to side. And just really allow that lower back to just massage itself into the floor. Brilliant, everyone. Okay, so our next form, we're going to do a bridge. So we're going to just tune back into the feet again. So continuing lying on the back, on your back, and knees up, feet on the floor. And we're going to be lifting the hips towards the ceiling. But before you do take any of that move, I'd like you to just really tune back into your feet, how they feel on the floor. Hip distance apart, roughly a foot or so from your seat bones, or in a spot that's comfortable for you. And can you start just really pressing your feet into the floor? So really pushing the weight from your knees downwards towards into your feet. As you push your knees and shins towards the front of the room, and naturally your sacrum will likely start lifting off the floor, which is great. So we're going to just explore this a little bit. Just coming back down to the mat again and just using our feet, pressing into the floor, knees and shins pushing towards the wall in front of us to just lift the hips and the sacrum off the floor. And when we come back down, can you really tuck the pelvis under, engage your core, and just come back down one vertebrae at a time. Just meeting the floor very slowly, one vertebrae after one vertebrae, until you can fully relax your spine on the floor. And just take a few moments to really enjoy this form and explore it more. So weight into the feet, knees and shins forward as you just, the pelvis and hips come up off the mat. And then just really tucking that pelvis upwards and under, engaging the core, and bringing your vertebrae back down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. And each time you come up, are you able to just perhaps lift your pelvis up a little bit more each time? Again, we're not pushing, we're not pulling. Just exploring how pressing into the feet, bringing your knees, your shins towards the wall in front of you, can really help this movement to feel easy and to really flow, because your feet and legs are doing the work, and it really allows your spine, your pelvis to soften and even lengthen as you just move up and down in your own time, allowing your vertebrae to meet the floor one by one. And when you get to the top of the next lift, are you able to just stay here for a minute? It doesn't have to be high. It can be wherever you feel comfortable. Keeping your thighs parallel, so there can be a tendency for the thighs to fall outwards. Keeping that weight in your feet, pushing the knees and the shins towards the wall, should really allow the back to lengthen and expand and reduce any pressure. And just notice your breath. Notice your legs. Can you breathe into your feet? Send your breath into your legs. Allow the front of your body to fill with your breath. And when you're ready, you've had enough, just come back down slowly, one vertebrae by one vertebrae, by one vertebrae, by one vertebrae. Brilliant, everyone. Brilliant. Okay, so from here, we're just going to do a final form, really nice form actually that I learned this week. So legs straight out in front of you. If it does help to have a blanket rolled up or a bolster under your knees, that's absolutely fine. But we are going to be lifting one knee up towards the ceiling and putting one foot flat on the floor. So I'm using my left leg. And from here, I'd just like you to again, like we did with bridge, push into that left foot, and you'll likely find that your body starts to twist over to the right. So keep the right side of the body heavy into the floor, push into the left foot. Your left knee might fall out, that's fine. Allow that strength to come through the foot and leg as your body just pushes over and kind of turns over to the right. From here, can you just let go in one move and allow your body just to fall back down to the mat, which is lying straight on the mat. So I'll demonstrate for anyone that's not sure. So pushing into my left foot, allowing my body to move it over to the right, and then letting go. Might want to let go of the breath if I just let my body flop back down to the mat. Again, pushing into that left foot, allowing the body to roll round to the right, so your weight's on the right side of the body, the hips to lift, and just dropping it all at once. Just allowing yourself to really just flop down onto the mat. So you're allowing everything just to let go. And just taking a breath. And when you're ready, do the same on the other side. This will possibly feel different. We're doing exactly the same, so we're pushing down into our right foot. Almost pushing that knee and that shin towards the wall in front of you again, as your body just rolls over to the left as far as is comfortable, and just let go. Just allow that leg to release all its strength, the feet to soften as you just flop your body back down to the mat. Allow gravity to just take hold. And just do that a couple more times in your own time. Brilliant, everyone. So when you're finished, you might want to we're going to move into Shavasana. So you might want to just bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, rock back and forward, side to side, massage your lower back. Put some warm socks on, a blanket. Might want a bolster under your knees if that's helpful for your lower back. This form's all about processing, integrating what we've done, and allowing yourself to be truly present. So Shavasana is just lying on our backs in a comfortable position, but legs out, generally out, so your feet about mat width wide. Allow your feet to flop out as they feel comfortable. Your arms down by your body, but again away from your body, so your shoulders can properly relax. You might want to just extend your head or your neck towards, just lengthen that slightly, and perhaps tucking the chin just to avoid any compression in the neck. And just close your eyes. We'll be here just for a few minutes. Just noticing how your body feels. Any physical sensations? Any emotions? Yoga can often release lots of physical tension, and with that, can also release tension in the nervous system. So that can in turn release emotions. Just allowing your breath, noticing if you're holding any tension anywhere, shoulders, your back, your arms, legs, just softening and letting go. Okay, and from here, if you want to stay in Shavasana and you're feeling like you don't want to move, feel free. If not, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes or just come out of it. I can see people are doing, which is absolutely fine as well. But if you want to, just come out slowly. Just meet on the mat, cross-legged, or in a comfortable position. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me tonight and joining me on my teacher training journey. Namaste.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry for being a bit late.
That's fine. It's a pleasure to have you.
I was thinking I should come, and then I was doing something else, and then I thought, no, I'll come.
Well done. It's good.
But thank you very much, and really useful to have very basic descriptions of where my feet should be and where the weight should be on them, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I think that's what I'm learning in my journey is going back to basics because and just really exploring the precision of a form
Yes,
rather than just rushing into it. Thinking about the journey in and how things are working for us as individuals, and so yeah, glad it was useful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thanks. See you later. Bye. Thank you.
Turn us off.
You what?
Turn us off.
Turn you off? Oh, should I go then?
I don't know. We can do a chat for one.
No, it's fine. Bye, everyone. Bye.